Hi everyone. It has been far too long since my last video post, so for today's Broccoli Hut video, I thought I would talk about my favorite foodie obsessions, this time for September and October of 2009. To start off my list, I want to talk about this little jar of joy. In case you can't read it, this is raw almond butter. Specifically from Trader Joe's, it is raw, creamy, unsalted almond butter. I've always really liked regular roasted almond butter, but I've seen so many bloggers rave about raw almond butter recently that I decided to pick up a jar for myself. And frankly, I am very glad that I did. I would describe the flavor as very creamy and mellow, and it pairs just as well with flavors that roasted almond butter does. So it's great in oatmeal and sandwiches with fruit. They're pretty much interchangeable, although they do have slightly different flavors. The nutrition of raw almond butter is almost identical to roasted almond butter. So it's just as high in unsaturated fats, protein, fiber, and vitamin E. So if you get a chance, pick up a jar of this. Next up on my list is pumpkin. To be honest, this is not just a September, October 2009 obsession. I have loved this stuff for years. I eat it year-round. I love it. But seeing that it is fall and that it is very nutritious and delicious, I thought I would highlight it today. You've all probably tried pumpkin before. It's got a very smooth and slightly sweet flavor that's very versatile for both sweet and savory dishes. The nutrition is amazing. I think a 1/2 cup serving has over 300% of your daily needs for vitamin A in the form of beta carotene. So that's pretty awesome. And it's also extremely high in fiber and not that high in calories. I really like it in my pumpkin bulgur chili, which I'm sure you've seen multiple pictures of because I love that recipe. And the pumpkin tofu soup, which the recipe for that actually comes from Toscarino's Eat Clean Diet Cookbook, if you're interested. And it's also good in sweet dishes, you know, in my oatmeal, mixed with yogurt or cottage cheese, or even baked into baked goods. So use this versatile and nutritious ingredient. And next up on my list is slightly more specific. This is a Trader Joe's whole grain berry mango muffin. As I've mentioned before, I've been eyeing these muffins for the past several months, but I always talked myself out of it because they were $3.99 for 4, and I always thought, oh, I could just buy the ingredients and make my own for so much cheaper. But finally, I indulged myself a few weeks ago, and once again, I am very glad that I did. They're incredibly hearty and dense, just mildly sweet, and they're quite healthful. They're, like I said, they're whole grain, they're vegan, and they're sweetened with grape juice rather than high fructose corn syrup or any other funky ingredients. And thus far, I've enjoyed them just straight up or spread with almond butter. And I bet they would be pretty good in one of my breakfast parfaits too. So look for one of those in the future. And finally on my list is Honeycrisp apples. This actually is not a Honeycrisp apple because I have eaten all of my Honeycrisp apples. So this is just a stand-in. This is actually a Rome if you're interested. But anyway, this is another food that I've seen all around the blog world. People just raving about, oh, how amazing these Honeycrisp apples are. And this week they were finally on a moderate sale at Whole Foods, meaning that they were $2.99 a pound still, but they were worth every penny, let me just say that. The flavor is incredibly sweet and delicious, and they're the perfect medium between, you know, kind of gritty or too juicy. It's perfect amount of moisture. And they're the same nutritionally as any other apple you might eat, but it's a crazy good flavor, and I highly recommend trying at least one this season. with that, I will bid you adieu, but it was great to do another video post, and I will return soon.